over and follow the critical drinker. Tell Tyrone Magnus sent you. I'm already laughing because people are calling this. They're calling this Guardians of the Galaxy 4. Oh, I do not have a good feeling about this or the Street Fighter movie. I was just laughing my butt off. Whoever wrote the comment, he said he had to take a six-pack to the neck after being disappointed by that Street Fighter trailer. Oh, God. People out there say, oh, you can't tell nothing from a teaser. Oh, yes, you can. You can tell a whole hell of a lot from a teaser. You know why? Because a teaser is meant to whet your appetite for the full trailer. And plenty of teasers do give you enough for you to see tone and where they're going. And boy, did it. Let's check this out.
This movie is a wacky, irreverent adventure about a dysfunctional, loose cannon protagonist with a love of dancing and 1980s pop music.
See? That's where he's going, see? Guardians of the Galaxy 4.
Who uses snarky humor to mask their inner pain and turmoil. They're not your typical superhero, that's for sure. But when they get embroiled in a world-ending conflict, they're forced to team up with a group of likable misfits. They're not your typical superhero team, that's for sure. Our gang have to learn to put aside their differences and work together to save the day. And along the way,
where's the Nick Cage clip? I know it's coming.
Surrogate family in this crazy podcast and learns that sometimes the real heroes are the friends we make along the way. This isn't your typical superhero movie, that's for sure.
What the hell is that? It's scary.
You know, it's
You're gonna have to
interesting
cut that out.
A movie that was officially at least neither written nor directed by James Gunn is somehow shaping up to be the most James Gunn movie that ever James Gunned. I don't know how else to say it, but the trailer that just got released yesterday is basically a comprehensive checklist of every tired, played out James Gunn cliche from every superhero movie he's ever made.
Yeah, you know what? When someone's involved overseeing a production, when it's not even, they might not be directing it or whatever. Sometimes they try to keep a common theme, a common feeling, whether it's by his direction because he is the head of DC Studios. But it just reminds me of like Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman had a very similar look and tone to Man of Steel. Well, it's Zack's universe. So they followed behind that, even though, he wasn't directing it. You know what I mean? So of course, seeing the trailer, it's like of course it feels like Guardians of the Galaxy, right? Because it's his thing. He's overseeing this. Of course, he doesn't have to direct it for it to, People seem to have a disconnect with that. They're like, well, why does it, like I saw that in the comments, like, why does it look like it, but he didn't even touch it. He's not directing. Nah, he touched it. Okay.
There's the dog to kick things off, because there's always a dog in a James Gunn movie, because everyone knows that putting a cute furry animal in your movie is pretty much the quickest.
It's funny too, how like they'll say that they're purists, or they'll behave like they're purists about a particular thing, like, with Crypto, like in the first teaser trailer, I enjoyed that, him saving him and stuff like that. That was before we were privy to him stomping him 1,000 times, but I didn't like the change about Crypto. I know who Crypto is, I know how Crypto is, and that wasn't Crypto. They'll let that go. But then they'll say, oh, this movie's so accurate.
It's the laziest way of speedrunning your way to audience sympathies. We've got the obnoxious use of 1980s pop songs because, by golly, James Gunn sure does love his classic pop music.
he can't be much older than me. He can't be. Great. I paused it on the clip that I always have to cut out because I got a yellow dollar sign for it. How old is James Gunn?
59 years old.
Oh, so he's like a big brother. He's 10 years older than me. So we well, probably 11, but so we grew up around the same time. He's like he's an old head from up the street. You know what I'm saying? Like he grew up with the same stuff that I grew up with, so I get it. But it does look like it's following that pattern. The Guardians of the Galaxy. It's like it's weird. It's like the same 80s headphones, the trench coat, like the look, the camp. It worked for Guardians of the Galaxy. Like I said, so I like that. 1 and 3, 2 was but whatever.
Which has the interesting effect of pissing me off twice, because I know the studio's going to absolutely jump on this video the moment I play more than a second of the trailer with audio, and also because after being forced to listen to Kate Bush on repeat in Stranger Things like I was trapped in some kind of Guantanamo Bay torture session, I've developed a thorough and abiding hatred of this lazy, cringe, nostalgia-milking bullshit. It's not...
This is what you gotta do, man. See, because YouTube has a ton of tracks that you can download for free, and with no copyright. You got the license, and that's what I used for my trailer reaction. So I just put that over it, and so many people were like, "Yo, man, the music you picked to overlay actually worked better than what they used in the trailer." I believe the track that I used is called Thor's Hammer. Yeah, right. It's called Thor's Hammer. And, so if you want to do that, drinker, in the future, just go to the music library, find the free ones, download, and use it anytime you want to.
Not cool and quirky anymore, it's just fucking tired. Also, and I'm hardly a musical expert on this one, but I kinda have to question the song choice here. Call Me by Blondie was written for American Gigolo, a movie about a male prostitute. What the dickens could they be hinting at here? Anyway, it's time to introduce our main character, Kara. She's not your typical superhero though. She's a drunken, cynical, messed up party girl who likes to cut loose and do her own thing. She's definitely not here to live up to your expectations.
Yeah, for a lot of you that don't know why she's, she goes to party on planets that have a red sun. So it reduces her powers. So she's actually able to get drunk. You know what I'm saying? Because she's so powerful and her Kryptonian physiology is so enhanced by the yellow sunlight that she's not phased when she drinks. So that's why, yeah.
That's for sure.
Girls get it done.
She's played by Millie Alcock, who turned in a great performance in House of the Dragon, and I'm sure she's going to do her best here. I mean, she's not exactly statuesque like I'd imagine Supergirl to be, but whatever. It's not like we'd expect her to do crazy stuff like work out in a gym or anything, but she looks fine as the drunk, out-of-control party girl who's going through a midlife crisis at 23 for some reason.
Should have made it Sydney Sweeney. Everybody's favorite, right?
Oh my goodness, it must be such a drag to be young and hot and superpowered. Can't imagine how you cope with it. Quirky, pseudo-retro science fiction gags? Don't worry, we've got you covered. Because clearly when you have the ability to fly and travel through space, a bus is the natural choice for getting around. Actually, why the fuck does she even bother wearing a trench coat when she's basically immune to temperature?
Yeah.
Oh right, that's why. Time for a fight scene, I guess. Let's assemble our group of accommodating stuntmen to get the shit kicked out of them. But don't forget to work in that snarky James Gunn humor.
Okay, this does not look like this is...
And this is one of the things where they can get away with it, because if Superman goes to somewhere where there's a red sun, it reduces his powers, but it's a gradual. Then eventually he's just normally a humanoid alien. And so she would still have powers here, but not... It's going to depend on the writer, but yeah, she should be able to kick everybody's behind in there, even with reduced powers of a Kryptonian. So it's one of those things where, like, I know people are going to talk about this movie being a girl boss thing. The way they write certain things, you'll be able to tell. Because some people are already, I didn't think this at all, but some people are already saying, like, he sees the good in everyone. I just see the truth. That basically saying that he's an idiot. People are like, I've seen several comments. People are pissed at that. Like, okay, yeah. He's just the dumb idiot, but she's the one that sees the real truth. He's blinded. Yeah, I'm just like, I don't know. Like I said, people are like an exposed nerve, like Banner talked about. They've been hit in the head so much with woke garbage that anything that is the hint of what lives in that, under that umbrella of wokeness that they've been feeding us for the past decade or whatever, they snap. Okay? Whether it's right or wrong, they snap. A lot of times they're right, though. I don't know about that, meaning that, but, we'll just have to see how they write this, because he's supposed to show up in the movie. So we'll see what they do with it to see if they make him look like he's a piece of trash.
And well, for you guys.
Nailed
What
it.
movie's that from?
Shite anyway. Anna Noguera, eh? Not exactly a screenwriter I'm familiar with, but surely she must have some pretty impressive accomplishments if she's been charged with writing a $200 million blockbuster. Let's take a quick look at her IMDb.
Everybody said, too, they were like, see, the disrespect on Soups. There was like, they should have him pee on Lex's face. Yeah, that would have been more appropriate. That's true. I just, roll my eyes and keep going with it. Like a lot. I mean, I've seen the people are like really heated about him having him pee on Superman like that. So to me, I think, like I said, I'm tired, boss. I think I'm becoming jaded to a lot of it. I was highly irritated with Street Fighter because I was hoping that they weren't going to F it up, even though I felt that they might. I was hoping that they weren't, and they did. And we haven't gotten Street Fighter in years, since I was a child. So, a teenager, so it's like for them to bring it out and destroy it again, it's just, yeah.
Shall we? Oh. When Marvel used to hire small-time indie directors for their big-budget movies because they knew they'd be too scared and overwhelmed to do anything other than obey studio orders? I can't help but think of that right now. Anyway, it doesn't matter who wrote it. The end result is the same. I am fucking tired of these movies, man. The forced humor, the overbearing music, the desperate attempts to be edgy and different, the visual diarrhea that looks to be 90% green screen, the predictable plot points and story beats that you just know is going to be shoved into the standard James Gunn mold because that's literally the only thing he's capable of producing now.
I hate so much about the things that you choose to be.
There's a word that keeps lurking in my mind whenever I think of James Gunn films, and that word is sincerity. Not because they actually possess it, God no, but because they're so completely lacking in it that it actually feels they're taking something away from the audience on a fundamental level. He's the movie equivalent of an insecure teenager who's so scared of being mocked and ridiculed that literally everything he says and does has to be cloaked in a protective shield of sarcasm, cynicism, and ironic humor. You can't make fun of him because he's already doing it to himself. But holy fuck, does it make for a hollow movie experience. You really can't get invested in anything or anyone.
He was getting nowhere.
Because it all feels like a setup for one big joke. And well, I think people are starting to feel it. For all Zack Snyder's faults as a storyteller, and believe me, there are many, one thing you can't accuse the guy of is insincerity. His films might be slow, bloated, self-important, dour, and overly serious, but you can tell he's 100% committed to the story he's telling. And there's a kind of simplistic honesty in what he does. He's sincerely trying to show you who he is and what matters to him as a filmmaker.
Yeah, you've seen him in his interviews. He doesn't seem to hide anything. He always seems to be very open and honest about what he's doing, you know what I mean?
maker. We even ran a poll on Open Bar a few weeks ago asking the audience if they preferred Man of Steel, a movie that's been thoroughly shit on over the years, or James Gunn's Superman by James Gunn. And the results were like 90% in favour of Man of Steel. That's not...
Yeah, so remember the poll that I ran, and people were talking trash about Drinker's poll and talking about my poll. if you already get the joke, you know I'm laughing. That was just funny. So Drinker's poll had like 2,000 people that voted, something like that. I forgot what my poll, how many mine had, but it had something like 7,000 or something like that. And people were trying to discredit our polls by saying it wasn't enough numbers, and that's false. Because when political polls are done, a lot of times they have similar numbers. When polls and scientific studies are done on groups of people, whether it's for a medication, a supplement, TV viewing, like different things out there, they often have only a few thousand that they dip into that pool to study the whole nation on. Okay? Mine is now, I saw it the other day, it's up to 17,000 people voted. And they're all voting for Snyderverse and Man of Steel. Not for James Gunn, okay? It's legit, all right? It's a sampling of the fandom of these genres of movies. And they tell the truth, okay? They tell the truth, all right? Now, you'll have to do several samplings and figure it out from different channels all over and figure something out. But things are divisive right now. And they're, as far as DC goes, and they're more divisive than they were when Snyder was doing it. So to me, I think, well, if you've pretty much split the fandom 60-40, 70-30, give them both what they want. You got DC Light, DC Dark, with Snyder doing the darker take. And he had a arc anyway for Superman, for him to start out troubled and confused about what it would really be like to be a godlike superhero, the fears that would come from people, the misjudging him, and the problems with feeling that out and learning to live that way, but he would eventually become the more seeing the good in everyone, and the shining sun that he's supposed to be, that beacon of light. Eventually, he would become that by the end. But like I said, it was never his fault. They wanted to follow Christopher Nolan's whole grounded, gritty take on with his Batman universe. They asked him to direct it that way, to show it in that light. So you can't blame it on him for giving you a darker one when that's what they requested. You ordered it. He gave it to you, Warner Brothers. You know what I'm saying? And more fans liked it than liked James Gunn's.
An endorsement of Man of Steel, it's an indictment of James Gunn's Superman and everything that it represents. Because when you get right down to it, I honestly think most people would choose deeply flawed sincerity over polished duplicity.
Yeah.
What I'm trying to say with all this pretentious bullshit is that this trailer made me feel weary, somewhere deep down inside whatever passes for my soul.
He probably saw my reaction. I was tired, boss.
Too much of everything that I'm sick of at this point, and I'm willing to bet that I'm not the only one who feels this way. God only knows what it's going to do at the box office. If Superman could barely scrape its way to $600 million worldwide, despite the longest and most obnoxiously desperate marketing campaign in history, what chance do you think this fucking derivative, tired, played out abortion of a film is going to have? It's like if you've been at a party all night, it's 3 a.m. and you're getting ready to stagger home and pass out on your kitchen floor, and some dickhead comes in with a tray of shots and screams, "Let's get this fucking party started." No, the party party's over, James. It's been over for like 5 years now. You're just too wrapped up in your own PR to realize it.
Well,
anyway, that's all I've got for today. Go away now.
Oh, God. Oh, man. Oh, God. Can we please have a rebirth, man, of good movies? God, it was so much happier. Everything was better. I was happier. You were happier. Oh, man. Jeez, man. Oh. Oh, God. Oh. What I want you to do, I want you to go look at my most viewed video ever, Infinity Gauntlet unboxing. At the height of when everyone truly loved Marvel. And I want you to look at the unboxings of anything Marvel as time went on. That shows you that I'm not a grifter. Remember, I get less views on things that I do not like. I get less subscribers on things that I do not like. I actually lose subscribers when I don't like something. And it's that way for my channel specifically, for things that the fandom doesn't like. As time has gone on, the more that they have woke things up and destroyed the IPs, my particular fan base just does not care as much anymore. Just like I don't care as much anymore. It all makes sense. It's how it is. You know what I'm saying? When you are talking about something that isn't popular anymore because it's been destroyed, you're not going to get as many views. You know? It's just how it is. You know? And mix that with other YouTube changes that are going on. Yeah, I've seen the videos. People are losing it over some of the views that certain channels are getting. Even gigantic channels, top 10 gigantic channels are having issues with certain algorithmic changes on YouTube. And on top of that, they talk about things that are just dipping in popularity because it's being willingly destroyed by the companies. And fans are just leaving. Fans just don't even want to hear about it anymore. That's why I'm glad that over time, my channel always talked about several things. Just always something I can talk about. That's the great thing about my channel. I didn't pigeonhole myself into only talking about movies, or only talking about games, or only doing unboxings, or only talking about wrestling, or only doing Q&As, or only bothering Scarlo on video. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just one thing. I'm glad I've spread the channel, and the channel is about things that I like, things that I want to talk about. You know, I wasn't only a news channel. You know, just so many things that I talk about. Because who knows what could have happened if I was just talking about one thing only, like a specialized channel. I'm a Swiss Army knife channel. I could do a lot of stuff, okay? I'm a can opener, so you can open your soup. I got a spoon so you can eat it. You get what I'm saying? Anyway, post comments down below. Let me know what you think. 10 million subscribers.